From illegally pushing the ball carrier forward to even one player that would punch players in the head to give them brain damage on purpose.
Football League outlawed it. They outlawed it because I can break a man's neck. And I guess that they didn't want the little sissies nowadays to get their neck broken.
These plays have been banned from the NFL and even a current one that may be up for debate this offseason.
Let's talk about butts being pushed.
No, there's no way to stop that. Is it fair? No, it's not. Is there a way to stop it? No, there isn't.
Brotherly shove.
Brotherly shove. It's been the talk of the league over the last several weeks for sure.
If they were 1 yard better at it, they'd ban it midseason.
Looks ugly. You can't tell whose knee is down when and where the ball stopped. You can't. It does create a gray area to make it tough to officiate and spot.
Whilst people and analysts discuss whether or not the tush push should be banned from the game,
don't ban this play. Like, if everybody could do it, everybody would do it.
Philadelphia continues to deploy it on a weekly basis.
You know, every first down is 1st and 9, knowing that if you get the fourth and 1, shoot. A lot of faith in that play.
The tush push, brotherly shove, or dirty Sanchez, as it's known in Philadelphia, is a seemingly unstoppable play when called upon by the Eagles. Last season alone, Jalen Hurts racked up 13 touchdowns on the ground, a number that is heavily bolstered by the ability to execute the tush push when the team are felled at the 1 yard line. The Eagles had succeeded on 41 of their 44 attempts following their Week 7 win over Miami. Other coaches have called for the play to be banned. They may pretend that they feel that it's a dangerous play, but it is more likely that they are all salty that they can't get it to work for themselves. The fact that other teams have tried and failed makes it clear to us that the tush push should be here to stay. It remains to be seen whether the play will be banned, but for now, it continues to be one of the most reliable plays in the Philadelphia Eagles playbook. 4th and 1 is no problem for these Super Bowl contenders. And honestly, if they don't ban it, I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep doing it all the way down the field until they do ban it, getting 3 yards a pop. But let me know down in the comments below if they should ban it or shouldn't it. Jumping over the line to block a kicker used to be one of the most exciting plays in the NFL. It involved an extremely athletic safety or linebacker executing a perfectly timed run up to leap over the line, land in stride, and block a field goal attempt. Players like Cam Chancellor and Troy Polamalu for the Steelers are the first names that come to mind for me when having executed it to perfection. But neither of them delivered one of the most dramatic blocks of this fashion when that happened in 2016 in a game between the Denver Broncos and New Orleans Saints. With just under 2 minutes to go, the Saints had scored a touchdown to tie the game. Just the point after was needed to edge them into the lead. As the center snapped the ball back to Will Lutz's holder, Broncos rookie safety Justin Simmons managed to clear the middle of the Saints line and block the point after attempt. And with the ball still alive, Will Parks got his hands on it and returned it for a 2-point conversion in the other direction. The defensive 2-point conversion swung the advantage straight back to the Broncos, and they went on to win the game by that 2-point margin. Now, don't get me wrong, it is easy to see the dangerous side of this play that involves a defender taking flight over an offensive line that needs to pop up and block the oncoming defenders. The play was banned in 2017 on the grounds of safety, but that didn't stop Myles Garrett from executing it in Week 7 of this season. The incredible play was legal thanks to Garrett's position on the defensive line rather than having to take a run up. His incredible athleticism allowed him to legally jump over the line and block the play. I mean, the dude is a complete freak of nature, but perhaps because of him, another rule change could be on the way to eradicate that wrinkle. And perhaps one of the coolest looking banned plays in the NFL, the fake slide. The quarterback slide was introduced in 1985, ruling that a quarterback is considered down if they slide feet first. It's commonly used in modern day NFL games as quarterbacks look to protect themselves from defensive players who are lining up to hammer them. Defensive players will find themselves penalized heavily if they hit a quarterback that is sliding, which led to a bit of a gray area in the sport. And some certain quarterbacks realized that they could use this to create a competitive advantage. The most recent example of this was from Kenny Pickett. Whilst playing for the Pittsburgh Panthers in the ACC championship game, on one of the first plays of the game, Pickett escaped the pocket on a 3rd and 5. And just when they got close enough, Pickett began the process of sliding, quickly snapping out of it and finishing off the run for a 58-yard touchdown. Many people were pissed after this, as he was unsporting. But at the end of the day, sports stars are trained to play to the whistle. Pickett spotted an opportunity and took it without breaking any rules. This next play was banned because it could almost kill someone. Deacon Jones was one of the most dominant offensive linemen of his era, amassing 8 Pro Bowl selections and 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. awards. These preceded a Hall of Fame selection that solidified Jones's place as one of the most influential players in NFL history. Aside from all the awards and leading the league in sacks in 5 different seasons, Jones earned a reputation for a very different reason. He was a physically intimidating character, and his signature move was the head slap. As the name suggests, it involved Jones slapping the head of an offensive lineman as part of his burst off the line. The slap would stun his opponent and give him the split second he needed to escape their clutches and sack the quarterback. The rule makers recognized that a giant defensive lineman regularly slapping the head of his opposition wasn't a good idea. The play was banned in 1977, a few years after Jones's retirement. Jones made full use of it being legal during his career though. While he accumulated 173.5 sacks across his impressive career, which would be good enough for 3rd on the all-time sack list. Modern day offensive linemen are likely relieved that the head slap is one less thing they have to worry about these days. Nobody needs Myles Garrett high-fiving them in the face on the snap of the football. Also, I wanted to shout out our Noti Gang members. These two have been the first on our past few videos, and if you'd like to be shout out in the next one, make sure to have your noties on and join our member section for exclusive shout outs, weekly NFL picks like this, and monthly prizes. Otherwise, Deacon Jones is going to slap you in your sleep. And now, while having established that leaping over the line of scrimmage to block a field goal is banned, we now turn our attention to the tactic of blocking the field goal from the end zone. Yes, you heard that right. You see, the Chiefs tried to get it done by asking their 6'10" tight end, Morris Stroud, to stand in front of the posts and try to bat any low-flying kicks down. The NFL put a stop to that by introducing the Stroud rule. And what's an unfair act without making sure that last-second scores don't happen? As there's some of the most exciting moments on the NFL field, but a couple of clever teams recognized a sneaky loophole. The best example of this is the Baltimore Ravens, who were once faced with a punt from their own 23-yard line with 11 seconds left on the clock. Now, I mean, like, damn, look at some of these with blatant holding on show. Flags flew all over the place. But the next one that was banned literally evolved for many years before being outlawed. It popped up in some big spots over the years, including a 1992 game between Nebraska and Colorado, where offensive guard Will Shields picked up the ball from where the quarterback left it and rumbled for an 11-yard gain. In the NFL, it had already been banned though, for another play called the Holy Roller led the rule being amended further. As Raider players attempted to collect this loose ball, it was knocked further and further down the field until it was in the end zone, where the Raiders tight end fell on the ball to secure the game-winning points. And what's any banned playlist without featuring Bill Belichick? Belichick has had a reputation for being grumpy and rarely cracking a smile. So when cameras caught him with a sneaky grin on his face versus the Jets in 2019, and of course, he was enjoying his own exploitation of a footballing loophole. With 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter and his team safely 33 points in the clear, Belichick's focus was on getting home as quickly as possible. Belichick sent his punter out with the play clock running, keen to take as much time off the clock as possible. The Jets declined the penalty and the play clock started rolling on 4th and 2 for a second time. However, thanks to the rule of the game at the time, the game clock continued to trickle down along with the play clock, and the Patriots gladly let another 25 seconds run off before taking another penalty. The penalty was yet again declined, and we saw our 3rd 4th and 2 in a row. Yet again, Belichick let the clock run all the way down before finally letting his punter boom the ball all the way down to the other end of the field. Hilariously, Mike Vrabel used the same exact tactics against Belichick himself later that season, taking a whole minute and 49 seconds off the clock. It came in a tightly fought affair between the two former colleagues and was not well received by Belichick. In this last one, most fans are unlikely to be aware of it. And during a game in 2015, it appeared as if the refs themselves struggled with this rule of punching a loose ball on the ground. In a game between the Lions and Seahawks, Calvin Johnson fumbled the ball forward into the end zone. As the ball bounced around, Seahawks linebacker KJ Wright batted the ball out of the back of the end zone. The referees ruled it to be a touchback, giving the Seahawks possession from their own 20-yard line. However, the correct ruling would have actually been to penalize Wright for an illegal bat and give Lions the possession at the 1-yard line. But don't worry, the Seahawks aren't the only team to benefit from rules perception of this rule. In 2011, Troy Polamalu managed to punch the ball into the Patriots end zone, where his teammate almost gained possession to score a touchdown. It hasn't happened recently, but it's fair to say that there are some new gray areas with this rule. it could be difficult to differentiate between a deliberate punch or from an accidental fumble. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, are there any rules in this video that you think that should be reinstated in today's game? And where do you stand on the tush push? Let us know down in the comments below, and make sure that you subscribe if you like this content, and drop a like as well for more of it.